Some bottles are long like train. Some bottles are round like a camel's balls, and some are just shapeless. Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
Over to you, Joe.
Now, would you guys get off my set?
It's your show. It's your show. We'll get off.
Well, thank you very much for coming. Hi, my name is James WHYTE. Everyone calls me ENCORE, and this is ENCORE, the platform, the Facebook platform on which we discuss all things marriage, love, and relationship. The young men you saw there, led by choir master and disappointed church organist, Kabute Okansi, they brought you just a taste of a scene in our latest play, Special Delivery. Special Delivery would open to the public on the 31st of March and 1st of April at the National Theatre. And what you saw is just a song in there. I'm an old vandal, and so every play of mine, there is a scene in which I bring you what I call beautiful nonsense. Please, if you are, don't come and preach to me about it. It is just for fun. It is meant to be beautiful nonsense, and that is all there is to it. Once again, thank you very much for coming. I don't take your patronage for granted. I have an offer for every one of you, any one of you watching ENCORE. If you would want to watch Special Delivery, and you are on this platform, I'm prepared to give it to you at a discount. So if you can send your details to the numbers that you already know today, before we are done, you'll get your ticket for 60 Ghana cedis instead of the 80 Ghana cedis. And you can buy as many tickets as you want, but it will be, you have to do that now, between now and when I sign off. Last week, I said we're going to deal with a number of the issues that came up when I was doing the ABCs of love. Now, we already dealt with one last week. Today, we're going to deal with the X factor, the issue of X's in marriages, in love relationships. This is a former romantic partner or sexual partner or a former spouse. And how do you deal with the issue of X factor? And that is what we're going to do. But first, I'd like to take a little break, and when we come, we'll go straight in there. Before the break comes on, we just did a survey on my Twitter account. And the results are in on what kind of X are you? And what kind of X are you? And so I'll bring the results to you when we come back. But stay tuned.
Thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude, values, faith, soul-inspiring content, value for money. New Look, the magazine that reports on our values, attitudes, and faith for discerning people. Rover Report Monthly Magazine. Get your copies from all Shell shops, Total shops, and a supermarket near you. Or call 0302-231188 for subscription.
They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO and Artistic Director of Roverman Production. What matters now is that I am committed to you becoming the best you can be. I am so committed to you becoming the best you can be in life. Thank you very much for joining us. Once again, thank you very much for staying. I do not take your patronage for granted. And once again, I am WHYTE. Everyone calls me Uncle WHYTE. I'm the CEO of Roverman Productions. We bring you a fantastic play every quarter at the National Theatre. And this quarter, the title of our play, A Special Delivery, it will be at the National Theatre on the 31st of March. And it will run the next day, that is the Easter weekend, and then the week after that. And if you're on this platform and you made your order right now, you can get it for 60 cedis instead of 80 cedis. Now, before the break, I said we did a little survey on our Twitter account. What kind of ex are you? Are you the ex who cuts off all contact altogether? Or are you the ex who stays in touch? Or are you the one who makes an occasional booty call or a regular booty call to your ex? I've just been, booty call meaning calling to say that, you know, our relationship may have gone to pieces, but there's something about the relationship that I think I miss, and let's get on with it. So these are the results. 54% of those who responded said they still stay in touch with their ex. 54%. 36% said they cut off their ex altogether, no contact. And 10% said they make booty calls to their ex. Well, I don't know what you make of that, but that is the results we got. Now, today we're going to have fun with this issue of ex. First, I'm going to go through the reasons why we become ex, why they are exes, why we have exes. And I'm going to give you 20 reasons why you may be an ex or you have created an ex. 1, immaturity. Many of us get into a relationship when we are not quite mature about it, and that immaturity results in our walking away. 2, impatience. There were issues you were getting and you did not handle it with a bit of patience. You gave up too easily. 3, folly. One of you or both of you were acted a bit foolishly and you didn't know how to come back from it. 4, lack of seriousness or lack of commitment. You just went into this for fun and you didn't think through the implications, and as soon as the implications hit you, you got up and you ran. 5, the influence and interference of third parties. Either parents say, no, we don't want this relationship, we don't want this person from this tribe, or some third party coming in and warming his way or her way into the relationship and then urging you out. 6, confusion. You get to the point where you are not quite clear what you want, or possibly you have more than one person you were looking at and you were not too sure which choice to make. 7, fear and insecurity. You were afraid of the step you were taking, or you were quite insecure about your place with the other person, and so you just decided, look, I don't want to deal with it. 8, sense of your ex, of an ex. Sometimes we create an ex, or a relationship dies because we are punishing the current person for the sins of the person we related to previously. And when the current guy cannot take it anymore, we go away. 9, differences in values, in tribe, in religion, in worldview, in goals. Differences even in timetable. I want to get married this year. You say, no, I want to go back to school and finish my first degree and my master's and PhD before I get married. And the person says, I can't wait for you. 10, not compatible. This is where you realize, you know something, both of us, we just made a wrong choice. 11, infidelity and trust issues. One person did not prove himself or herself trustworthy. 12, sex. This happens before in relationships that are not married yet. Sex can make you create an ex of your partner. And 13, lack of understanding. Lack of understanding of what love is, and lack of understanding of the opposite sex and the challenges of relating to the opposite sex. 14, comparison with others. You look at some people and the way their relationship is going, and you think that that is how it should be, and you now put pressure on your partner and say, why are you not like that? Why don't you treat me like this? Why don't you comparison? 15, abuse. Physical, verbal, emotional could bring it apart. 16, drifting apart. This is, both of you get busy, or one of you gets too busy. No time to nurture the relationship, so you drift apart. 17, karma. Karma. You know, there's a law in this world. You pay for something possibly your father or your mother did to somebody, your brother or sister has done to somebody. Somebody will pay. Or you are paying for it. What I realize is that those who love breaking people's heart eventually end up having their heart broken in a very bad way, in a very painful way. It becomes that. 18, lack of self-esteem and self-love. If you don't respect yourself, if you don't value yourself, if you don't think you are worth it or you are enough, what will happen is that you sabotage your relationships and destroy it. 19, spiritual attack. Yes, there are people and there are things in this world, and they can mess your relationship up. That's why learn to pray, even about your relationship. 20, having the wrong role models or the wrong trend in the family. If all you know growing up is that relationships die and it gets bitter and things like that, you create it yourself. So that is how we create exes. I want to go on to talk about 15 kinds of exes we have, the types of exes we have. And I have 15 of them. 1, the ex who breaks up with us. There's the ex who initiated it. 2, the ex we broke up with. The ex that, and the handling of the two are not the same. The picture is not the same for both. 3, the ex we have a child or children with. Now, on that one, the only thing I would say is that partnership may end, parenthood never ends. It's forever. So let's be careful about that. 4, the ex we loved. The ex we loved. 5, the ex we did not love, but who loved us. 6, the ex, neither of us loved each other. We didn't love the person we walked away from, but neither did that person love us either. 7, the ex we did not think we had a relationship with. This is a tricky one. When somebody says you've broken the heart and you didn't think we were even in a relationship to begin with, but that person thought, because of certain things and circumstances, that we were in a very serious relationship and had told everybody. 8, the ex who did not think they had a relationship with you is a reversal of 7. You think because the guy comes to eat in my house and has some his things in my house, and I can go into his house and sleep, so we are in a relationship. And he is also saying, no, I never quite proposed to you. We are not in a relationship. 9, the ex who is our fault. In other words, this is an ex we have offended by walking away. That person was good to us, that person, but we somehow messed this relationship up. 10, the ex we invested in. There's an ex you took to the university, or you bought a house for, or you paid for his or her siblings to go to school, and then finally the person says no. One of my adopted sons said he looked after a young lady through Central University, and just before she graduated said, you know something, you are not the kind of person I want. That's an ex you have invested in. 11, the ex who has invested in us. You are who you are because of the person you are walking away from or you walked away from. Handling that ex is a very different matter. The ex we cannot avoid. You know, there are people you break up with and you don't need it. But what if you break up with a colleague you share an office with? Or somebody who lives next door? It becomes a very difficult one. 13, the ex who is a relief. There's the ex who, the moment you manage to get the courage to break up with, you sleep better for the first time in a long time. And everybody who knows you congratulates you and say, well done, well done. If it were in the old days, they would do auto and give you one boiled egg. 14, the ex who will die to have us back. And finally, 15, the ex who makes our current partner look bad. This is the person you walked away from, you married somebody else, and after a few years you realize, you know something, the person I left was treating me far better, and makes this current partner look so bad. Well, let's go on. Let me spend a bit of time talking about the danger of having an ex, the kind of risk you take when you have an ex, the difficulties, and yes, the danger. One, you may not be able to love and trust anyone else again. In other words, you may never be able to move on. That's the first danger of an ex. Two, your current relationship will be emotionally and even physically crowded. What I mean is that the memory of your ex is so powerful and so strong that it's almost as if that person is present in this current relationship. So your current relationship is crowded emotionally and sometimes physically. Three, you will get into the wrong relationships. It's another danger of having an ex, that sometimes when we have an ex, in order to compensate, we go into the wrong relationship. 4, you may destroy yourself to punish, and put a punish in quotes, your ex. There are cases when people a relationship comes to an end, they have a very bad heartbreak, and they destroy themselves to punish their ex. They do things to suffer so that their ex will see them suffering, and they hope that in that the ex will feel sorry for what it's like, see what you've done to me. 5, you may misbehave in your current relationship. Because you were hurt in the other one, you come in here and you'll be messing up. 6, you may overcompensate in your current relationship. This is where your ex, and there's a person who just don't want anybody who reminds him of the ex. And finally, 12, you pretend you don't know him or her when you meet. Have you seen this situation where somebody you know, they were relating, but they meet, and the other party just pretends, we've never even met. That's somebody who hasn't gotten over the ex. Well, let's go on. Let's talk about 20 common mistakes we all make with our exes. 20 common mistakes we make with our exes. 1, letting your ex do whatever he wants and just taking it. There are people who, when the relationship has broken, try to get in touch, and this time they are prepared to let their ex do anything they want, just because they want to please the person. It is a mistake. I know a case where the boy said, I'm walking away because you won't let me have sex with you. And because of that, the girl visited him and offered sex. A week later, she received an invitation to the boy's wedding. And it wasn't her. So please, the reason sometimes they give for walking away from you is not always the true one. And don't sacrifice your values just to keep somebody. Anybody whose values is not consistent with yours, if you break your values or compromise for them, they will still hurt you and you will still lose them. 2, giving your ex, somebody who says he's going away, tons of affection. When the person has announced, I'm going away and it's over, that's not a time to try and give so much more affection. No, you'll be sabotaging yourself. And remember, when you do that, you will lose all attraction. 3, trying to use pity to get him back. Pity is not attractive, so don't let him pity you. And neither is begging. Never beg somebody for love. You may beg for forgiveness, but even that, after you beg, don't keep begging forever. But don't beg, because it doesn't make you attractive. And that is important. It doesn't make you attractive. 4, getting super jealous if he starts dating someone new. That's a mistake. The relationship is over. Whoever he dates is none of your business. Don't go and do drama. 5, calling and texting him all the time and coming up with all kinds of excuses and emergency and distress calls. Stop it. 6, taking his calls and responding to his messages is a mistake, especially in the early days of a breakup. When the person has walked away, cut the person off completely. It is important because it gives you time to heal, it gives that person time to heal, and it gives you time to move on. But I'll be talking more about cutting the person off later. 7, acting cold, aloof, nasty, or desperate towards your ex is a mistake. 8, trying to make him jealous by talking about other guys when he's around. No, stop it. 9, talking to him about the relationship and asking about his love life. Not good enough. You've moved away. It's not important now to discuss the relationship that is already gone. It's over. 10, listening to what your ex is saying about you. Listen, when a relationship ends, there are always people who come with stories about, oh, did you hear? He said this. He said you did this. And sometimes people react and say, what? He said this, but he also. No, don't do that. 11, working hard to bump into him accidentally. You know, you miss him, you want to meet him. And then you say, oh, I just was going to buy bread and somehow we bump into each other. No, you lie. You wanted to bump. You knew you would bump into him. Don't do that. 12, responding to distress calls. If your ex calls you and said his house is on fire, give him the fire service number to call. Don't write to go and save him because it's over. And I think that when people break up with us, we should let them know it is over. It is over. And don't let us, it is over, but you can call me and I'll help you out. In the early days, let's cut all that. No, it's over. Leave me alone. 13, being bitter. It doesn't help because you're hurting yourself. 14, broadcasting the sins of your ex. It's all right. It's over. Whether he was a foolish man, whether he was a dirty man, whether he stinks, it's nobody's business. Go away and leave me alone. 15, refusing to accept that it is over. Refusing to move on. You've got to watch that. 16, allowing yourself to be held to ransom. This is where you allow your ex to guilt trip you. And the person calls you in the middle of the night and I can't sleep. I can't sleep. The reason why I can't sleep, I can't even eat. And you feel so guilty. What business do you even have taking that call? Stop going on a guilt trip. 17, destroying yourself to punish your ex. I've talked about that in another context. 18, getting into a relationship too soon. When your relationship ends, don't rush into another one. It's called rebound. You'll make a mistake. Give yourself time to mourn. The death of a relationship is like the death of a loved one. Go through the process of mourning. Finish mourning. Proper. That's the reason why in our culture, when your spouse died, you mourn for 1 year. It was to make sure that you didn't kill him because of somebody around the corner. So don't get into one too soon. And 19, attacking everyone in your ex's gender. The boy treated you badly. Doesn't mean all men are pigs. They are not. The woman messed you up. It cheated on you. It doesn't mean all women cheat. No. 20, blaming someone, a third party, and attacking that party for the breakup. All right. Time is running out, but I still want to deal with how to deal with your ex. 20 ways on how to deal with your ex. 1, make a clean break, especially in the early days. The first few months of the breakup, don't make any contact with your ex. Don't pick his calls. Don't return the calls. Don't read the messages. For you, convince yourself it is over and let the person also accept the fact it is over. After that, when both of you have accepted this and have moved on, you can be friends later. But in the initial days, don't make the mistake. Otherwise, the wound won't heal. And you continue hanging in this limbo. You know, you are not dead. You two you are not alive. I mean, that is not a good relationship place to be. 2, avoid any of the mistakes I have outlined. You remember we went through 20 mistakes we commonly make with the ex. Avoid any of them. 3, forgive yourself. The relationship died. You may have done a few things wrong, but forgive yourself. And then 4, forgive your ex as well. He may not have treated you well. She may not have treated you well. But it's over, okay? It's over. Forgive and move on. Remember that forgiveness benefits the one who is forgiven than the one who is forgiven. 5, avoid the blame game. When the relationship is over, this is not a time to sit down with your ex and talk about who was a bigger twerp. When a relationship dies, there's no winner. Both of you were twerps. Move on. But remember something, that people come into our lives for a season or for a reason. So sometimes the reason why you shouldn't blame anybody is that maybe this was just meant to be a season. The season was over. We've moved on. Let's wake up for a new season. 6, refuse to go on a guilt trip. When the person calls you and sends you long messages about how you've messed my life up. The favorite one, you've wasted my life. No, we wasted each other's life. But in so doing, we also made each other richer. So open your eyes. The relationship we've been through, the experiences we have, it's not wasted. Nothing in life is wasted. So avoid a rebound relationship. That's number 7. Number 8, beware of what are called relationship vultures. These are people who come in when they know a relationship is dead, and then they begin to make it worse. They begin to pick everything until only bones are left. They come with stories. They come and tell you what he's doing, what she's doing, and things like that, and what he has said, and where he went. Cut them off. 9, believe in your worth. Somebody worked out on you, it doesn't mean you are useless. It doesn't mean you are not worth loving. Believe it. Believe I am worth loving. I am worth it. And don't sell yourself cheap. 10, resolve to live fully. If your heart has been broken by somebody, please, the only way to prove to the person that he is wrong is to live your life fully. When you suddenly stop living, you have proved that person right, that he was right in walking away from you. So get back up. Go, do your hair. Put on makeup. And you two walk through town with swag. After all, before he was, you already were. Do you understand? Amen. So move on. In town, be positive. Don't let people see you down. Don't create a situation. Oh, what is wrong with you, Ajua? What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? No. Because see, people are watching. They want to see whether you are crying or not. So walk through town as if you own the world. And have fun. When you go home, cry. Lock the door and cry. But in town, nobody should see you crying. 11, become a better person. Work on yourself. Because whether it was your fault or not, there are things you should learn about yourself. The relationship going bad may have revealed something about yourself to you. Work on those ones. Now, 12, learn the lessons from the failure and move on. 13, overcome fear and suspicion. When you are in a new relationship, don't bring in the past. And that leads me to 14, put the ghost of your ex to sleep. Let that ghost go. Don't think about him. Don't save anything about him. Don't save his pictures. Don't save anything. Anything that reminds you of your ex, destroy. If a restaurant reminds you of your ex, you are not going to that restaurant ever. No, you are not going there ever.
Don't smell their food.
Yeah, don't even smell the food. And if look for 15. Look for the good in the whole experience, because all things work together for good. Something in that relationship has been a blessing. Celebrate that one. 16. If it is not too late, you can explore a comeback. If it is not too late. Too late meaning that person has moved on or you have moved on. That one is too late. But if both of you haven't moved on and you remember, you look back and think, oh, I think I made a mistake. I was too hasty. Then explore. There are steps to take to initiate a comeback. And someday we would explore that. Today I don't have the time. 17, give love a chance again. If someone breaks up with you and you ever find yourself saying, I will never love again, stop it. As soon as you say that, you are proving your ex right. Prove them wrong. Oh, love again. Love again. You are worth it. 18, If you're a man and you have children with your ex, don't abandon the children. They didn't do anything. So don't abandon them. Live to your responsibility fully. And if you are married, don't leave, again to men, if you are married and you ended the relationship, don't leave your wife stranded. Don't leave your wife with nothing. So make sure they have, she has a home to live in if the relationship ends. Make sure if you can, a little capital that she can start up. It is not worth you walking away from a woman's life and the woman is totally disintegrated and cannot move on again. Or another person has to now go and pick her to make her live again. Do what you can. Be fair, move. It's over, yes. But we've had a relationship before. Make sure the person lives in dignity after you. And 20, don't be too eager to take your ex back. You know, there are situations where your ex turns out suddenly and he says he's a changed person. Don't be fooled. If the person even comes with tears, there are things called crocodile tears. Give it time. Don't rise back. Don't rise back and say, oh, he came and he was crying. He was crying. No. I have a formula. Beware of your boyfriend who cries in your presence. On your sincere. Sit down, all of you sincere people. All of you sincere people, sit down. Boys know that girls, there's this maternal instinct in girls. As soon as they see tears, they move from accuser, they move from girlfriend and become mother. Oh, come here, come here, come here, come here. Don't be taken in by his tears. Remember that if he's sincere, yes, he'll be emotional. But when he comes with tears, beware of a man when he comes with tears. It doesn't always work well. Well, so don't rush to take your ex back. So that is my presentation on the X factor. I was going to bring you the 10 commandments of dealing with an ex, but I've covered a lot of them. I was just going to summarize it in 10, but we've run out of time. So I'll stop here, and then we'll take your questions and your feedback. Once again, I'd like to thank you very much. And once again, let me remind you that my next play is Special Delivery. It is at the National Theatre on the 31st of March and the 1st of April. If you can put in a request for ticket right now, you'll get it for 60 tickets. But whether you are able to do it now or not, let's see you at the National Theatre on the 31st of March and the 1st of April. I'll be back very soon.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, honey, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle White at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6030 for your copies. Thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude, values, faith, soul-inspiring content, value for money. New Look, the magazine that reports on our values, attitudes, and faith for discerning people. Rover Report Monthly Magazine. Your copies from all Shell shops.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. I appreciate it very much. I understand the platform has become very, very lively. That is how it should be. We want to create a community. So feel free to express yourself. No view is outrageous enough. So welcome. Let's take the questions now.
Okay, Uncle from Obaya. Uncle, but what if he doesn't want to accept it's over and he keeps bothering you?
Does he own you? He doesn't own you. I have never understood you making yourself almost helpless before his persistence. Cut him off. He doesn't own you. Cut him off. You need that to save yourself and for him as well.
Aramide Lawal says, how about the ex who insults you today and tomorrow tries to sweet talk you even though you've made it clear you are done?
Hi, Kudi, how are you doing? Well, yes, it is over, so don't mind him.
From Ajua, what if your ex is a business partner?
That is difficult. That's difficult. That's difficult. For all those who have business partners of the opposite sex, let me say this: don't mix business with romance. They don't work well. And this is the reason: don't mix business with romance. As long as that person is your business partner, choose between the business and the romance. Because when you turn it into a romantic one, you may end up without the business, or without the romance, or without both. So protect yourself.
Uncle Kwesi says, sometimes when it's over in your mind, then you remember something, then your heart is crossing over like 31st night.
Yeah, let's keep crossing over. One day it will lie dead. So, no. Walking away from any relationship is not easy. And I've tried to make this presentation light, but I am not ignorant of the fact that this is a very difficult thing. You invest life in somebody, your future in somebody, and then the next day it is over. It's difficult. But you owe it to yourself to move on. You owe it yourself to move on. It may be difficult, but please do it.
Uncle, they have broken me, son, but my ear is hard. I still love like never before. Am I an alien?
No, you are not. You are just dying for love. But do a few things about yourself. First, suspend any relationship for now and work on yourself till you come to the point you believe, I am worth love. I am worth being loved. I am worth it. Because what is happening is that you are looking for validation from other people. You are asking people, come and love me, love me, love me, love me, and you are begging them and throwing everything at their feet. And when you do that, they will keep breaking your heart because nobody loves somebody who needs them. Let me say a few things about life. Look, you know the Bible says that to him who has more will be given, and you think it is unfair, but that is life. People will throw at you what they know you don't need. What they know you need, they would withhold from you. You know, before I started driving a good car, none of my friends gave me his car to drive. Today, they are prepared to throw their keys at me because they know you are driving a car. People will give you what they know you don't need. And that is why you need to create a situation where you can come to the point where your partner doesn't think you need them, that you will be fine without them. It is only then that they will be desperate to get you back.
Uncle Kwesi says, what if your ex is your pastor's daughter? Do you stop the church?
Yes, stop the church for some time until you heal. Remember, I think that give yourself about 3 months of no contact. No contact. Then after that, when you've healed, you can go back in. But initial days, the first 3 months, walk away from that church. Go and worship in another church. You won't go to hell. Go and worship in another church. And when you have fully recovered, and you know that I have gotten over this, I've learned my lessons, I am moving on with my life, then you can return to that church.
Uncle Elhana says...
And that goes, the same thing goes when the pastor's wife is your ex.
Hey, Jesus.
Now you have to leave the whole denomination.
Uncle Elhana says, Uncle, but I love the food there.
Yo, all I can say is yo.
Uncle Joan says, how do you handle a friend who starts to behave like a jilted boyfriend when you start a new relationship?
Ignore them and move on. If possible, tell them off and move on. Ask them, what's your problem? The painful thing is that these may be people who you had a crush on, and you were waiting for them to open their big mouth and say something. They didn't say anything till they saw you in another relationship. Then they say, oh, you know, I was thinking. Keep your thoughts to yourself at this point. Leave me to go on.
Thank you. Uncle Trisha says, Uncle, I nearly stopped watching Uncle because you looked like him.
Wow. Wow, Trisha, I'm sorry about this. And because he looks like me, forgive him why.
From Becky, Uncle, please, what do you do to an ex who always texts, I miss you and I want you to come over, and wants you to come over to his place when he claims he's dating someone else?
This is an ex who doesn't respect you. Delete his number from yours and make sure block him out. He doesn't respect you. Block him out completely. He just wants you for sex. Block him out completely.
Uncle Akosi says, her mom said she doesn't need a Ghanaian as an in-law. What do I do? She is Nigerian.
Oh, what have we done to this woman? That battle is difficult to fight. It's like the tribal battle. Has the mother met you? If it is possible, try and see if you can let the mother see you a little bit. But if the two of you are very sure then of your relationship, then use other family members, because the mother is not the only one who has a say in this matter. So bring in the father, bring in some relatives, and they can talk the mother out. But having said that, is the reason why we should be careful in our relationships, because we represent our tribes, we represent our nationality, we represent our race. The way you treat somebody sends a message about your people. You know, I'm sure this woman has had a relationship or heard of relationships in which Ghanaians haven't treated the Nigerian woman well. So let's all be careful in our relationships and do right, because the repercussions will shock you. The number of people who pay for your foolishness would amaze you.
Francis says, Uncle Ebo, when you are living in his apartment, driving his car, how do you do away with the ghost after a breakup?
Yeah, somebody who gave you an apartment and a car. Or why did you walk away? What happened? I'd like to know what happened.
Uncle,
yeah.
I broke up with my ex not because I did not love her. We broke up because we had to take a decision on which we had wide varying opinions. We still keep in touch. Truth is, deep down, I know we still love each other. But we can't get back. At least I know that because we are both AS. She is AS. She doesn't know I am AS as well. So we can't get married.
Okay.
Should I cut such a person off? Should we remain friends? I have been in other relationships, and trust me, I have loved those ladies also. But Uncle, this one weaks me basa, because the love's still there.
Yeah, life is like that, unfortunately. It's always a difficult situation to find yourself, but because of the medical reasons, I think the two of you spare each other and spare your children as well.
Stillwater says, give my ex £1,000. That's the ex I invested in. Hey, you're rough.
What's the name? What's the name?
Stillwaters.
Come again?
Stillwaters.
Stillwaters. £1,000. A bit of sheeple. You £1,000, you are screaming. No, that's not proper investment. That's not proper. For some people, that's shop money. So please, don't make too much of it.
From Sayram, Uncle, is it wrong to miss your ex?
It is not. It is human. It is what you do with it. Again, in the initial days, don't go begging, don't go pleading. You owe that. Otherwise, the person will never respect you.
Uncle, Stillwaters is back. He said, also bought her a brand new computer and a new phone, but went for them, including the pants, shoes, and clothes when we broke up. Was that right? I should have rough.
Drink water. No, you didn't try. But I can understand how painful. I can understand how painful it is. But you didn't try. You didn't try. Drink water. After this, send us a message on what she did, and then let's see if we can help.
Uncle from IKEA, she says, "Hello, Uncle. Please, what do you do when your ex says he made a mistake losing you, and goes ahead to say ill things about you to your current boyfriend?"
And your current boyfriend believes him.
Beat him.
What I'm asking is, does your current boyfriend believe him? I think you should just ignore him. You should just ignore him. And don't try to explain yourself to your current boyfriend either. He has the responsibility to know you for himself. And I hope he's wise enough to do that.
Juliet says, Uncle, please, is it okay to know why my partner and his or her ex broke up?
No. If the information comes to you, that's fine. But no, because no matter what they tell you, you will not have all the facts and all the factors. So let it go. Don't be too keen on that.
Linda SL says, how can you get over an ex who always calls to check on his daughter?
He calls to check on his daughter. Yeah, give the phone to the daughter. As soon as he calls, give the phone to the daughter.
From IKEA, Uncle, but the Bible says, "Do good, all especially those of the household of faith." I can't withhold doing good to him while he's in dire need. What happens next?
I won't argue with you, but I think you are wrong. Because you see, we should teach people that they can't eat their cake and still have it. You can't walk off on me and still want to benefit from me, because I'm a full package. You understand me? So if I am bad to you, my money should also be bad to you. My time should be bad to you. Because it's all part of who I am. So you can't say, I have walked out of this relationship, and yet I call you when I have need and things like that. No, I don't owe you that. And there's no blessing in that kind of giving.
Ellie says, took me 4+ years to get over him before I could finally walk away. Too scary to love again if it would take me so many years to get over one person. Some of us just love too hard.
It is also possible that you do not open yourself to the kind of influences that will help you heal sooner. Some of us, you know, let me help you. Life is this way. Every now and then, a door closes. And many of us, what we do is that we stand behind that door that has shut, and we bang at it and bang at it and bang at it and cry. But this is what life is. And this is the principle of life. Anytime life slams a door in front of you, it is because life has opened another door behind you. So instead of banging at the door that is shut, walk away from the door that is shut and ask and look for the door that is open. Because there's always a door open that opens at the same time. The same forces that shuts a door opens another one. You don't see the new door that is open, and it's always a better door, because you're spending too long and spending too much energy and wasting too much emotion at the door that is shut. Go and read Who Moved My Cheese. You'll understand the principle I'm talking even better.
Essie says, my ex who claimed he was going through a divorce got in touch with me early last year. He expressed interest and we started a relationship. It's been some months since I heard from him. Should I send him a message for closure, or what should my initial reaction be when he gets in touch someday?
He's playing with your emotions. Cut him off. He's going through emotions. Since when did you become a counselor? He's going through emotions and he's calling you. Are you a counselor? You should go away. He hurt you some time ago. He should leave you to heal.
From Mavis, Uncle, please, is it advisable to go back to your ex?
It is, especially if you discover that we were wrong. If you discover the terms. That's why I went through the different types of ex. There are exes that we were wrong making an ex. And if it is not too late, sometimes it's too late. But if it is not too late and the opportunity still exists, please do the comeback. Because if you don't, whoever you marry, the ghost of this ex would continue to haunt you.
Danso Augustine says, what about someone you have a child with and you know that if you leave that person, he can't live or life will be worse? How do you behave in such a situation?
Make a distinction between the person and their child. Remember, make a distinction between the partnership you had with that person and your parenthood. Partnerships may end. Parenthood never ends. So pay attention to the child. And but then if it is over with your partner, it is over. Don't push it.
From Fabio, must religion affect who we want to marry, or it doesn't really matter?
Come again?
Must religion
Yes.
affect who we want to marry?
It matters. It matters. The Bible talks about not being unequally yoked. And I would advise you to go and study it for yourself.
Akwesi is back. That's Akwesi whose prospective mother-in-law didn't want a Ghanaian.
Yes.
He says, the mom has not met me yet. I decided to meet her soon,
Okay.
but she doesn't want to meet me.
Yes.
I'm very worried.
She's made up her mind. So go around it. Get your woman to bring in her relatives. And if possible, arrange for you to meet some of the relatives. And they will do the fighting for you.
King Solomon says, good day, uncle. It's been long.
Hey, Your Majesty. Good to hear from you.
He says, my ex told my lady, despite that we are no more in a relationship, she will still be friends with me.
Now, let no one get me wrong. I am not against you being friends with your ex. I'm saying that in the initial days, particularly the first 3 months, when you are still finding your way around, cut the person off totally. But when you've recovered and both of you have succeeded in moving on, there is nothing wrong being friends again. But know the line you draw and don't create more stress for your current relationship because of an ex.
But the ex went to tell the current one that she is going to stay friends with the guy.
Yeah, it has something to do with you. 2 men talking. Let them talk.
On WhatsApp, uncle, I went out with a guy when I was 23. We had a wonderful relationship, introduced him to friends and took him home to my mom. After 1.5 years, we broke up. A year later, he asked me to come back. He doesn't call, behaves as if communication was not needed each day in the relationship. I told him to stay away. Then after a year, we came back together again since he started calling again. And then just last Christmas, he came back again. But his attitude when it comes to giving attention is still the same, and his finances are not so fine. So he is not so ready for marriage. How do I deal with this? Because I think I haven't met anyone whenever he comes around. So whenever he comes around, I embrace him. Am I being unwise?
I like your annual general meeting. It's becoming an annual general meeting. I said that I'm wondering whether it's the kind of annual general meeting that will go anywhere. And why are you not meeting anyone? Give yourself the chance to broaden your social network. And let's see. So don't live your life work, home, church, and home. Get involved. If you are in church, get involved in one of the units in the church. And let's see what happens.
Uncle, can you help your ex financially?
What kind of ex is he or she? Is it the ex you walked away from? In which case, help her. But if the ex who walked away from you, let him go. Do you understand? It depends on the type. There's a type of ex that we hate. And possibly we may even have put in a very big disadvantage. In that case, there's no harm helping the person. But the ex who says we are useless and moves on and moves away, that person, when he comes, let him go to hell. Let him go to hell.
Okay, well, this one is just for laughs, but I think it's worth it. So you know, Stillwater said he went to collect the phone, laptop, and the pants and everything. Then Joanne says, Stillwaters, if you were called Turbulent Waters, I don't know what you would do.
No. You know that when you stand at the banks of the Volta, It is still waters.
When you enter it.
By jump into the river. So still waters always indicate something very deep within. So the name is very apt. It's very, very apt.
From on WhatsApp, he says, "This is Amma. Uncle, how do you handle mutual friends with your ex?"
In the initial days, when you are cutting contact with him, cut them off as well, the mutual friends, until you recover. And then when you fully recovered, then you can look them up.
Uncle, how do you handle your fiance who invited his ex to your home? And the ex too came.
Oh, the ex will come, of course. But it is your fiance who invited the ex to the home. For what? Are you sure she's gotten over the ex? You would have a lot of issues with this one. So please interrogate this further. Don't take it lightly. There is more to this than you think.
Uncle, so how do you handle the exes of your partner who he claims they are still friends, they are still cool, or even worse, they are best friends?
Okay. If your current partner is not comfortable with your ex, sacrifice the ex for your current partner. I've never understood those who sacrifice their current relationship for an ex. It doesn't make sense. It's the height of folly. Because this one is an ex. Let the person remain an ex. There's a reason why you're calling the person an ex. If your current partner is not comfortable with your relationship with your ex, please make a decision, vote for the current relationship. The ex is gone.
Uncle Ebo, I had to break up.
We'll be giving, please, there are so many questions waiting that if you don't mind, we'll take 10 extra minutes. So we'll go 10 minutes over our time today so we can deal with a lot of the questions. So please, I crave your indulgence to just bear with us.
On WhatsApp, Uncle, I had to break up with my last because my parents did not agree due to our church denominational differences.
Church denominational differences. Why? That church won't go to heaven. I've never understood the issue of church denominational. I can understand different religions, but the same religion, it's about time we saw that we all worship the same God. And I'll not do this. Look, whether you think that baptism is putting the whole body in water, or just putting it on the forehead, on the top of the head, the important thing is baptism. So they believe in baptism. So what's the issue? So it's not a good enough excuse.
Uncle, my girlfriend's families like me, but they would want me to marry their they want me to marry their daughter. But the lady is saying no to them. I also love her, so how do I go about it?
Did I miss something here? Is she your girlfriend because her parents like you, or she's your girlfriend because she likes you? Because the way you are talking, the girl herself is not your girlfriend because she doesn't love you. So how do you call her your girlfriend? So unless I've missed something, that's what I'm saying, unless I've missed something. But the mere fact that her parents love, you are not going to marry the parents. It's easy to win parents. It's very easy to win the parents. Look, if I turn up with a brand new car at a gate and went in with provisions and dropped an envelope for 10,000, I will win parents. Yeah. Especially if I'm in suit and I drop the kind of card that says CEO. You know, but they are not the ones you are marrying. You are marrying this girl who in bed doesn't care about your CEO because CEO doesn't do it right. And may not necessarily mean that you do it right. She wants to know, how good are you? To me, not to your business.
From Tewia, today is my first time of viewing or listening to you, but I bet you are too good, Uncle. I'm going through hard times now in my relationship, and this discussion is just directly for me.
I'm sorry that you're going through a hard time. I hope there are a few things I'd like you to do. Don't blame yourself. Don't put yourself down. If you have somebody you trust, approach that person to help you get a perspective on the matter. But whatever you do, life has not come to an end. Life goes on. So keep living your life. And surround yourself with a positive vibe. You do understand? Move around and let there be a positive vibe about you. And you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I pray that you will be fine. And that goes to everybody else who is in a difficult relationship listening to us.
Chris Cotter says, I divorced my wife for a new lady. My divorced wife never hated me. I am now reconciled with my wife. And the lady I went for hated me so much for me going back for my wife. The wahala is more than I can even say here. Maybe we'll meet you over a coffee for the rest.
I hear you. I hear you.
Uncle from Abby, what happens with relationships you had with their relatives?
It's over. Oh, it's over. It's over for now. Especially in the early days. Listen, in the early days, cut off everybody. It's in your interest. After it, and you have moved on and that person has moved on, then you can renew those relationships with their... Because, listen, they did not matter in the relationship. It was your son you had a relationship with. And they are effect. Once the cause is gone, effect must also go.
Okay. Sandra says, what's up? Uncle Ebo, what if he doesn't want to accept it's over and keeps bothering you, especially when you are in a really relationship? And
Sandra, he doesn't own you. Cut him off. Move on. You've moved on. Move on. It's over. He had his chance. He's blown it. Don't cut him off. This issue of, and he keeps on calling every day. How do you even know he's keep on calling? Cut him off so he doesn't call. So he doesn't reach you. And don't block his number. Fortunately, look, my generation, we have telephones, you can't block anybody's number. Your generation... You have telephones, you can block people's number. Use technology. Use technology to save yourself. You know, there are ways of blocking the number. Would always say that the subscriber you are trying to reach is on another line. Use that one every time. It's engaged.
Uncle, good afternoon. Uncle, I've tried hard to forget about the pain that she caused me, but I'm unable to. Does that mean I've not completely forgiven her?
You haven't moved on yet, but it will come. Give it. Time heals all wounds. Don't expect it to heal completely and so soon, but time will heal it. Give yourself time. And whilst you are doing that, begin to broaden your own social network and live again. Live fully again. And don't regret what is past. Again, remember the illustration I gave. Life has slammed a door shut before you. The same force that slammed that door shut has opened another door behind you. Turn around and look around you for the open door that is open.
From Fabio again. I know men are to take care of their household, but is it okay to stay with someone who, at the stage of the relationship, always says she doesn't have money and expects you to always spend on her? I just fear this would continue in the future. In case I am in crisis, she would not help me. Please advise.
This issue of, I think I'll devote a full thing on the finance of a relationship. Because this issue of men take care of women is wrong. Go and read Proverbs 31. The ideal woman, who looked after her? She worked hard for herself. And ladies, it is unladylike to depend fully on a man. Any man you depend on fully will not respect you fully. So if you have the means and you have the opportunity, don't sacrifice your career and your life for a man. Live fully. Remember, a good relationship is not a half woman marrying a half man and becoming equal to one person. It is one full woman multiplied by one full man, becoming one flesh. So be fully yourself and don't be dependent. So the lady, if the lady is becoming too dependent upon you, even when she has the means, then you know the kind of woman you are going in for. Beware.
Still Waters is back. He says, what if you keep seeing your ex in your dreams, uncle? Do you confront them physically and tell them, hey, Jai Kwasi Asem no?
All right. Drink water. Say what is. You met them in your dream. Talk to them in your dream. Confront them in your dream and tell them in your dream, hey, Giant Kwasi no, in your dream. But let's keep it in a dream. Okay. But so what? Thank you very much. You are fun. You are really a lot of fun.
Uncle from Lord. Uncle, is it prudent to date a lady who said she is no longer interested in the guy who presented drink to her family because he's dating a different lady, but she hasn't told her family yet?
No, I don't think I got a hang of it. But let me make an announcement. My 10 minutes is up, and let's stick with it this time. There are many more questions, and for everyone who has sent a question, I appreciate you doing it. We'll be back next Friday. So meet us. If your question was not addressed, ask it earlier so we can get back to it. And once again, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Listen, people come into our lives for a season or for a reason. So when people move out of our lives, don't let us blame them. Maybe they came just for a season. The season is over, or for a reason, and the reason has been accomplished. So you to move on with your life. And remember, one of the verses in scriptures that have always encouraged me, in all things, God works together for good. So that relationship you're crying over today, its ending may have been the best thing that ever happened to you. Look at it that way and lift yourself up. Put on your best dress and move out to conquer the world. God bless you and stay blessed.